Alright, I have finished the Arklight Dreamhand. It only took me 3 days, and that was after I stopped about a year ago because I was waiting for Prelude 2 release to bring me all those animal preludes that never came and those animal tags that never came. But after 3 days of work a year later, I have done it. I have figured out a way to get the Arklight Dreamhand going. I think it's my favorite. It's definitely not the strongest. I think the MSI might be the most insane one, maybe even the Iron one. Poseidon was pretty strong too. Even Terractor, really, the Phobolog is the only one that's not that crazy, but it's pretty good. The Arklight one it's definitely a winner, but I'm not sure it lands that strong, but we'll do analysis at the end. But let's begin. So, Arklight begins with 45 cash. Well, let's see what we're going to track. We are going to be tracking, obviously, the cash. We need to track steel, titanium, plants, and cards, but I'm only tracking here the blind cards, the cards that I draw and I don't know what they are, not the cards that I'm playing. So if you remember the rules of Dreamhand, if I like that, I can only pick the first 10 cards in my hand and any cards that I draw with a condition. So like Space Agency gives me 2 space tags, I can pick those cards. But something like Research Network that gives you 3 blind cards, I am not picking those cards, because if you do, there's a way to actually finish a game with Viter in 1 round. A video that I always recommend when I talk about Dreamhand. So, there's no point. Like, if you can start drawing cards, you can do whatever you want. So, those are the rules then. So I'm only tracking the cards that are basically the ones I can't use. Right there. I'll also be tracking animals and microbes, but I will do those on the card once I play them, and you'll see them here. So let's start with that. We play Arklight, and we can put an animal on it. Arklight starts with 45, 2 MC production. We'll mention it at the end where we're at with the MC production, but we're not gonna be tracking that because it's actually not gonna change a lot, right? And then we keep 10 cards, so our cash goes down to 15. And I should mention, we're going to be playing, I usually go over what expansions and maps I pick at the end, but in this one, because we're actually playing more with the map, we are going to be playing with Turmoil, which means the greens are in power in the first generation, which is convenient, because you get 4 every time you plant a forest. We're going to be playing on Terra Cimmeria, and I'll explain later why this had to be the map, but it had to be the map, essentially. Because I went through a few iterations of doing things. And then finally, we are playing with colonies. This is a colonies corp, even though it's not related to colonies, but I did it for Poseidon. I'm going to do it for this one. I'm going to assume Miranda is in play. Okay, so it's a minor help. It just makes the kind a little more absurd. But I figure, I tried to make the Dreamhand with as little assumptions as possible, but I think it's fine to bring in Miranda for the corporation that was meant to interact with Miranda the most, right? It activates it from the start. So I did it with Poseidon and doing it here. So we got Turmoil, we got Terra Cimmeria, which I will show the layout once we start laying tiles. And we also have Miranda, right? So okay, so we keep all 10 cards, so our cash goes from 45 to 15. And then our first prelude is going to be Experimental Forest. So that's going to give us 4 cash from placing the greenery. So we go to 19. And then we're gonna draw 2 more cards. These are plant cards, so I get to play these, which means I get to play a total of 12 cards, and that it's gonna stay on 12. So, the 10 that I drew at the beginning, and these 2 that Experimental Forest draws me. As long as I find 2 with a plant tag, which I will, it's fine. Okay, and we're gonna place the greenery on this spot here on the edge. blah 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 months, and that draws me 2 blind cards, right? So we're gonna update the cards to 2 here, right? And we have 12 in hand, and we have 14 in hand, but I can only use 12. Basically are the rules right now. Which brings me to my second prelude, which is a prelude that I don't really like. But when you keep your 10 cards and draw 4 more, if you have a hand of 14 cards before your first prelude, your second prelude, I mean, then it's probably the best prelude in the game. So it gains 2 steel, so let's track that. And then it's going to gain 2 ME for each project card you have in hand. So I have 14, so I gain 28, which means I go from 19 to 47, plus the 2 steel. So it's a 32 card prelude, which is pretty insane. Part of the reason why I went for that 2 card spot there. It's just, 4 cash, probably 6 cash by the end. I also get to immediately take 2 actions. Now that's nice, and I'm gonna use that in some of my dream hands, but right now they're not time sensitive, so I'll just start going. Okay, so we're at 47. First card we're gonna play, remember, greens are in power, so GMO contract. Very good card. I get a rebate of 2 for any and all of the green tags. And so I go down to 44, and then I gain the rebate, the rebate for it, and plus 2. Oh, also I forgot to put an animal on Arklight for experimental forest. So Arklight has 2 animals. But yeah, GMO gains 2, so it goes to 46. Everything else stays the same. Then we play viral enhancers. So we play that we pay 9. We go down to 37, and then gain 2 immediately, so we go to 39. Obviously going to be important. We gain 2 because of GMO contract, right? And we also, because of viral enhancer's own effect, we're going to gain 1 plant. Everything else stays the same. Third card is going to be topsoil contract. So this is one of the key combo pieces, but topsoil contract it's gonna cost 8, so I go down to 31, and I get 2 back because of GMO, so I'm gonna go back to 33. And then I gain 3 plants from the card, plus 1 plant for viral enhancers, so I go to 5 plants, right? So that's 1 plus 4, 5. Everything else stays the same. And then obviously we go with decomposers. So I'm at 33, so I go down to 28. I'm gonna gain 2 for the attack for GMO, and then I'm gonna immediately put 2 microbes on decomposers. And because of topsoil's effect, that whenever you gain a microbe, you also gain 1 ME, I'm also gonna gain 2 cash. So I go back to 32. Now I don't get any plants on it because I chose Viral Enhancer's effect as a microbe, so it has to, right? After that, we're gonna go with the other key combo piece, meat industry. So I'm gonna use my 2 steel plus 1, so I go down to 31, and now every time I get an animal, I get 2 cash. For every microbe, I get 1 cash. And we have plenty of money still. Okay, and now let's start doing the explosion. My maybe favorite card, but maybe getting replaced, Ecozone. So Ecozone comes into play. We pay 12. So we go to 19. But then we're gonna immediately get 4 animals on it, which is 2 for itself and then 2 more for viral enhancers, which gives us 8 back. So that takes us to 27. Arklight gets 2 microbes too, so it goes to 4, and it gives us 4 more, so we go to 31. Then we also get 2 microbes on decomposers, so it goes to 4 as well, and we go to 33 cash, and then we get 4 back for the 2 tags for GMO, so we go to 37 cash. So effectively I gained back 18 So I played Ecozone for +6, which is awesome. Now we're gonna place that tile right here below our greenery, and that's also gonna give us 2 plants. So our plants are gonna go to 7, and then everything else stays the same. Our next card is Wildlife Dome, and again we can play it because the greens are in power. So let's do some more math. So we were at 37, we pay 15, we go down to 22, but we get 2 more microbes on Ecozone for 6, and then we get 4 cash for 26. Same thing on Arklight, goes to 6, and then 4 cash we go to 30. Decomposers also goes to 6, and then we get 2 cash 32. Then the 2 tags, GMO, gives us 4 back, we go to 36. And then because we're placing a greenery, we're getting 4 back, so we go to 40. So we gain 18 back. We place a greenery, and this one is going to go here on this titanium, right next to the 2 plants. So we also gain 1 titanium. And also, viral enhancers that triggers twice because of the 2 tags, so our plants will go to 9. Next up, we're gonna play advanced ecosystems, and again it's all gonna happen again. So we were at 40, we go to 29, right? But Ecozone gets 2 more, so 4 cash takes us to 33. Arklight 2 more, 4 cash takes us to 37. Decomposers gets 3. So that takes us to 40, and then we get 2 back for each tag, so 6, so we go to 46. We're also gonna get 3 plants, which means we go to 12. And that's it. Everything else stays the same, and we play advanced ecosystems for +6. So again, awesome. And 3 plants. Okay, so we're at 46, and at this point we're gonna plant our other greenery, and we're gonna go here on this spot with the 2 steel and 1 titanium. So that's gonna give us 4 more, so we go to 50. That's our second greenery, by the way, so far. Yeah. No, third greenery, because we have... Yeah, that's our third greenery. So we go to 50, we plant there, and so now our steel goes to 2, our titanium goes to 2, and our plants go down to 4 because we planted, and we still have 2 cards. After that, we're gonna play Kaguya Tech. Right, so we were at 50, we pay 10, we go down to 40, and again, we put 2 more, we put 1 more animal on Ecozone, we get 2 back, so we go to 42. Another one on Arklight, 2 back, we go to 44. 1 microbe on Decomposers, we go to 45. And because of the plant tag and GMO, we get 2 back, we go to 47, right? Everything, we gain a card from Kaguya. But we're also going to place the greenery again in this, so we're going to replace this last greenery, and so we again gain 2 steel and 1 titanium, so our steel goes to 4, our titanium goes to 3. Right, and we gain that card, so cards go to 3. Plants are... this triggers advanced ecosystems too, so plants go to 5. Okay, now we're gonna do a standard project city, and you're gonna see I didn't think a standard project city would be the way to go, but it ended up being. And we're gonna place it up here in the colony spot. So we were at 47, we paid 25 for the city and 5 for the spot, that's 30, so that goes to 17. Our cash goes to 17, and we're gonna place the colony on Miranda. Now that gives us an animal that we're probably gonna just place on Ecozone, but it's the same Ecozone or Arklight. And then we're gonna get 2 back because of meat industry. So we go to 19. After this, we're gonna play Martian Zoo, and this was the card that basically broke my brain, because essentially what I did is I managed to play it. I had a pretty smooth hand that played it, and then I realized I had forgotten about the 2-city requirement. So I had to go back, I had to put Kaguya in, I had to take out like a colony card, and I had to figure out a way to get enough cash so that I could get Standard Project City. So at some point I had the order between GMO, viral, topsoil, and decomposers changed a lot, because if you put viral first, you get more plants. If you put GMO first, you get more cash. If you put decomposer first, you get more points. And same topsoil gives you, if you put topsoil last, you get more points but less cash, right? So I was trying to maximize everything. It turns out in this order I need almost every cash and I need every plant, so that's why I went in that order with that. After those four, it's pretty straightforward. You play media industry, and then like the big tags: ecozone, wildlife, and advanced ecosystems. And at this point, it flows and you start making cash. But yeah. Basically, I included Martian Zoo, and after I did and realized I didn't have any cities, I had to figure out a way to put it in. Thank God for Kaguya Tech, because it's a dumb city that costs 10, gives you 2 production a card, and it doesn't require energy, right? But I did have to, 30 for a city and a colony. That's why I went for this map. And also you'll see how exact my money is, but this is a steel tag, so I'm gonna play with steel, which is why I went for this left side of the map here instead of like the bottom right where you have more plants, and you also have a 2 steel spot and some titanium. But this part, like the 2 steel and titanium, that 7 cash to place twice there is what allows me to do everything. But anyway, we're gonna play Martian Zoo. So we were at after the Standard Project City, we were at 19. We're going to use the 4 steel and then 4 cash for 12. So we go to 15. And let's start placing stuff. So it has an animal tag. So Ecozone gets another one. We go to 17. Arklight gets another animal. We go to 19. Media Industry itself gets 1 because of viral enhancers. So we put 1 on Mid Industry, on Martian Zoo. So we go to 21. Decomposers gets a microbe, so we go to 22. And then GMO triggers the discount, the rebate. And so we go to 24. Yes, 24. 24, we use all our steel. Plants are staying at 5, cards are staying at 3, and titanium stays at 3. And now we're going to play Research Colony, because if you're going to do Miranda from the beginning, you have to have 2 colonies on it, so that you can get 2 cards and 2 animals every turn, which is insane and broken. So basically what makes up the hand. So this was the other card that was really hard to fit in. Originally, like I said, I didn't have Kaguya, I didn't have Standard Project City, I just had Minority Refuge, which is the cheapest colony, and then Research Colony. And even then I was barely making it, so I had to figure out a way. The other thing I had to do was play Experimental Forest before Head Start, because with Head Start I was able to play viral enhancers first and then get some additional plants, but I needed the cash very much, and then also place on that 2 card spot because it's actually the best way to get money. So that's partly how I solved it. Plus basically pushing GMO to the top. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, we play Research Colony. So we were at 24 cash. So we're going to use the 3 titanium and then pay 11. So we go from 24 to 13, and we place the colony on Miranda again, and we can double up. And so that gives us an animal that we can put on Martian Zoo. So Martian Zoo goes to 2 animals. Now this is a money production essentially. A money production plus a cash. It's a because we can tap this iteration, right? And I think that's just better than half a point. This will be presumably 10-11 cash by the end of the game, which you should be able to do more than half a point with it. You should be able to almost do 2 points with that. So yeah, I would prioritize production over half a point on Ecozone for that. But yeah, we go to 15 then because of that animal. And then we get 2 cards from Research Colony. So we go to 5 on cards. Okay, and so what we're going to do now, we're at 15. We're going to tap Martian Sioux. So we go to 17 and we're going to sell our 5 cards, our 5 blind cards. And that takes us to 22, which is where we wanted to get to be able to play in the first stupid generation ecology research. So ecology research costs 21. It takes us down to 1, but then we get 2 more animals on Ecozone, 2 more animals on Arklight, so that's 4 and 4, we go to 9, 3 microbes on Decomposers, we go to 12, the 3 tax gives us 6 discount for GMO, we go to 18, and then it places that 1 animal. We're gonna go on Martian Sioux, so it's its 3rd one. Again, I'd rather do production right now, so that's 2 more. And then we're gonna place 2 microbes on Decomposers. Those 2 microbes there, so that's 2 more again for a total of 21 bags, so we go back to 22. And so we just played Eco Research for free, which is just so much fun that happened. We also get to plant production, which is going to be good considering like everything we have. Okay, and what do we do next? Right, so we're at 0 cost. Okay, so now this also, because of viral enhancers, the 3 tax gives us 3 plants, so our plants land at a beautiful 8, right? And we can plant. Now this one, it doesn't really matter where you plant. Like either of the 2 steel spots next to your cities would be the best ones, so I'm just gonna take this one. Or you could start just planning to go down to the more like planty zone on the south, so you can just, you know, not take a bonus and go south. Or you can plant here between these 2 to prepare for a city up here. But yeah, I'll just put it as if I was going down, basically, because I think that's probably the best play. But yeah, that gives you 0 back, but it does give you 4 cash back, so our cash goes to 26. After that, we're gonna pay 9 to trade, because what you're getting for that trade, so we go to 17. What you get for that trade is you get another animal on Martian Sioux, so you go to 19, and now you have 4 animals on Martian Sioux. Another thing was before on my original hand, I didn't have to tap Martian Sioux until the end. But now I had to tap it right before Eco Research just for 1 cash. So it was annoying, but it's, I mean, whatever, we did it. I'm happy. But that's essentially 4 money production that we have there. But yeah, we go to 19, another one Martian Sioux. Yeah, after that, you have 19, so what I would do with those 19 is pay 8 to claim a milestone or an award. In this case, the milestones, like the ones you could go for, are probably Forester, because you have to plan production, you're 2 away, but that 3 away, but that actually can be taken from you. You could play Coast Guard, because an ocean here would actually just leave you 2 away, and you only have 1 city attack for Architect, which is not that great because your other one was a standard project, so milestones are really not good, but we have Zoologist here. And Zoologist, the good news is that you already have, how many? So you have 16 microbes on Decomposers, then 4 animals on Martian Sioux, that's 20, 13 animals on Ecozone, and 12 on Arklight, so that's 25. So you have 45 already. I think you're safe. You have every card that collects in mass, basically. So, yeah, I think you're safe to claim Zoologist. So we're going to take 8 to claim Zoologist. We go to 11, and then we're going to place our free delegate on the greens. And we can place, with that 11 remaining, up to 2 more delegates. and because you have 18 tags, that's worth it. So you pay 10 to get 18 back. It's basically you get 8 more production. If you can you might be able to get away with it with just paying 1, in which case it's essentially that you have 13 production. Of course, most rounds you're going to have to pay more. And then that also gives you your bonus, which, I mean, you have some plant production, not too much. But, yeah. You're still going to be placing greeneries as much as you want. You can place a standard product greeneries and laugh a little. But let's recap where you ended, right? So, first of all, you have 2 colonies on Miranda, which means you can trade every round to this 2-step over here, which means that you get 2 production, 2 cash. Because you place an animal, you get another 2 cash, so you're essentially trading for 5. So again, let me explain, like, because Martian Zoo taps on that generation after, the 2 animals that you play also like give you 2 cash back, and then you get 2 cash back because you're placing an animal there. So you're trading for 5 cash, and you're getting 2 production and 2 cards. It's basically cheaper than sponsors, and you're getting 2 cards with it. Like, the 2 cards alone for 5 is obviously something you take. So your production is going to increase pretty fast. And right now, you placed 4 greeneries. So your production, your TR is at 4. You have 2 from Arklight, 2 from Kaguya. So that's 8, and then you're sitting at 4 for Martians. So you have 12 money production plus the greens. And not only that, every time you play a plant tag, your discount is 7, which is, places animals on Ecozone and Arklight, and then 1 microbe on Decomposers, that's 5, and then 2 more for GMO. So every plant tag has a rebate of 7. And because the plant tags are usually in that 6 to 15 range, that means a lot of them are going to be cash positive, and if you get any discounts, even more. And a lot of them are actually going to just cost like 3 to 5, right? So plant tags are very cheap for you. They also produce plants because of viral enhancers. Any animal that you play comes with a discount of 7 as well, an additional point for viral enhancers. And microbes, again, each one that you play, these ones aren't so great. They only give you 3 back because of Decomposers and GMO. But I mean, the microbes are cheap. So you have discounts on 7 for animals, 7 for plants, 3 for Decomposers. Your production is at 12. And so far, you have how many points? Let's see. You have 1 for Ecology Research, 1 for Martian Zoo, 3 for Eco, that's 5. And then we have to add the 5 for Decomposers, that's 10, 6 for Ecozone, 6.5 really, but just 6, and 6 for Arklight, so that's 22. You're sitting at 22 points, and as soon as you get a 1-point animal, or even half game, you switch to trading to like animals to Ecozone instead of like Martian Zoo. I mean, you'll get 2 production the first 4 or 5 rounds, that's 10 production, and then you can switch to points, and you're still drawing cards. You have great card draw, great production, and the green engine is completely down. So that's where it finishes. And you can trade basically for cheap because of Mid Industry and Martian Zoo, so you're trading for 5 a turn. So you don't even need to worry about energy. And because you have 18 tags, you can put the greens in power whenever you want and just gain production. Until it gets to having to place 4 delegates, which is rare, but you might have to just let the other ones win sometimes. Pay for 4 delegates. You have a free one, and that's still probably worth it. Oh yeah, and Earth tags also have a discount of 2 because of Martian Zoo. So whenever you play an Earth tag, Martian Zoo gets another animal, and you haven't played any. Because I mentioned the discounts for plants, animals, and microbes, but really, there's only plants left in the deck. All the animals and microbes will be either late or not there. So I've mostly used all the animals and microbes. But yeah, that's the hand. I think it's awesome. It's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite because I love this like green combo shit. Like this would be my dream hand. Not just Arklight Dreamhand, but this would be my favorite thing to play. Of course, you know, you would probably, your opponent probably resigns immediately, but this would be my favorite of all, even more than the Byron one. And yeah, I'll go over a few of the things. So I already told you how Martian Zoo made me switch things, but I did think of other alternatives. I tried making things work with ecology experts and herbivores. It placed in that case I actually had a few more greeneries because I didn't have the cities and the Martian Zoo, and so I think I placed like 6 greeneries with that combo and other cards that were there. So that was 12 cash back. Like herbivores and meat industry is really nice because you can get a lot of animals too, and it comes with an animal itself. Other preludes I looked at when I was trying to solve the city issue were Acquire Space Agency, Double Down. So Acquire Space Agency, the idea would be I can draw 2 more cards, so I can get a cheaper city in basically, or one of the a cheaper colony which I already had, but like I needed 2 more cards to place 2 more cities once I realized a Martian Zoo needed 2 cities, so that was one way. Another way was soil bacteria, again because I do use 2 space tags or 2 microbe tags. As long as I get 2 cards, that's fine. But it ended up being, this one is 18 cash, and soil bacteria does give me like an extra 2 greeneries, which is 8 cash, but it's at the end just not enough to like it wasn't enough to get the 2 cities and the 2 colonies in. The other period that I looked at was strategic base planning, but even that didn't allow me enough cash, because if you think about it, I got 32 back from Head Start, and I paid 30 for the colony and city, my standard play, so that was plus 2 cash. In this one I get the colony and city and lose 3, so it's actually this way was 5 cash better. So yeah, and the other card that I looked to try to make it work was Martian Lumber Corp, which would let me play Wildlife Zone, Martian Zoo, and maybe Research Outpost as my second city instead of the standard project one, but just the order never figured out. It needs 2 greeneries, and so it basically it came in too late, and the plants that I sold weren't enough, but it was another option that I looked at. And of course my original one was Minority Refuge. There were also things like potatoes, which was very cash positive, but I didn't like losing the 2 plants. But yeah, anyway, so we went with Terrasimeria. It ended up being the cheapest way to get the colony, and it has this nice spot here with 2 cards close to this nice spot here with 2 steel and 1 titanium, which allowed me to gain that bonus twice, which is essentially 14 cash, which really helps. So we had to do Terrasimeria basically. My other option was Elysium, because it's like basically you place along the plant edge and you just get a lot out of that. But at the end of the day I just needed to do it with Ecotech. Sorry, yeah. Not Ecotech, Terrasimeria. Elysium was the other choice. And then, obviously, I wanted Miranda because I think Miranda and Martian Zoo are an insane combo. Martian Zoo is the best early animal. Miranda, with the card draw, if you turn Miranda into giving you money production and card draw early and then points late, it's the best colony in the game. It's just doing Luna, Pluto, and it's doing then Miranda itself. So I just had to put the Miranda and Martian Zoo combo in once I just had to figure out a way to put it. And then obviously the greens, because we placed 4 greeneries. So that's 16 cashback from the greens. And also when you have 18 green tags, you're going to want to put them back in place. But anyway, that was a bit long for a Dreamhand, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. It took me 3 days, so to speak it in 34 minutes, not bad. But yeah, see you next time.